All right, with Woodrow coach Street Sarrett and Street, obviously a big one this week, playing an old rival. Obviously, there's the classification thing now, but still, it's just 40 miles down the road. It's still a rival.
Still Beckley, Princeton, just like all the other local schools. They can drop them to 3A, but they'll still, just like Bluefield, Greenbrier East, Oak Hill, they're still local rivals. Good games, good for the communities to play each other.
When you look at their team, and obviously they're going to be without a couple of big offensive weapons and defensive too, I would assume. I know Markel Lowe was a really great player for him last year, as was Monster. Those two guys aren't in.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think that affects things?
Man, they have a ton of talent. They played in the state championship game last year, didn't lose much off that. So, those kind of guys, they practice every day, and the next two people are going to step up, be your one play away. And, those guys are players for them, tremendous players, I think, but they still got a lot of weapons that we're going to have to contend with.
Chance Barker, all he had to do was replace a guy that was a record setter down there, a guy that walked on at WVU, Grant Cochran. I think he's playing the conference now, where he was a great player. All he did was make first team All-State, break those records. I mean, they got a live one at quarterback.
Oh, yeah, very talented. Probably one of the best quarterback we'll see all year. I haven't seen anybody else's quarterback, but he's very, very tough. So he'll be a great weapon for them on offense. That'll be their main weapon.
Obviously, he's more of a kind of a pro style. He's not a lot of running there, but a lot of passing, and he does it well. What kind of problems could we cause?
Man, the way their offense and the things that they do with their routes and things, and he's so intelligent with the way he reads defenses. I mean, he puts the ball on the money, throws a great deep ball, gets it out in space. So, it'll be a great test for our defense.
What do you have to do to go down there and come out with the win?
Man, we can't turn the ball over. Cannot turn the ball over. Can't give up big plays and just play our defense and establish our run like we do.
And that run has been very stout, and we talk about it every time you and I talk. I mean, it's just a stable of guys who are about equal in talent and who really don't care if it's one guy one week, one the next, and a different one the third.
Yeah, they're 100% team. And, the biggest thing with our run game is we just can't get behind the chains and get silly penalties and things like that. And just move the ball. And like you said, these guys, they don't care who's running the ball, who's getting the touchdowns. They just like, they're all good buddies and good friends and lived in this weight room with us for the last 4 years. And, man, they just like winning on Friday night. You
got to have the Jimmies and Joes, as they say, but you've been good at running back, but the stable of backs probably for the last 3 years. I mean, you had talent at one time where you had to spread it out a little bit. I don't think that's really your thing. Yeah. You're back in the running mode now. Why is it Woodrow always seems to have this? You don't have that one feature back, but you got a lot of guys that add up to maybe more than that.
It is. We're just trying to put the best players on the field, and Beckley's always had running backs, and we could put one guy back there. You could take Bryce Ford and put him back there as the lone back. Connor Ray is the lone back, but man, that leaves a lot of talent running the ball not out there. So we're just trying to put the best people on the field and as many athletes as we can, and that's what we're doing.
The whole season is about positioning yourself to host that first
that's right.
game since 2001. Where do you stand right now? When you're looking at the season,
man, I look at Friday night and try to be 1-0. You get down to the wire, you can't sit there and count points because there's going to be a lot of upsets and bonus points and things like that. So, these kids deserve the way they're playing to host a home playoff game. So that's their goal, and getting that home playoff game, get that home atmosphere, and just not have to travel and make some things happen. Because that's a whole new season when you get into the playoffs.
You guys have been this is the third straight year you've been at 5-1, and obviously the way your schedule sits, there's a lot of tough customers on the second part. Why do you think this will be what's the one variable you've seen that makes this team different?
This team here is just takes it 1 week at a time. They don't get down. Like I talk about, momentum changing a game. Things aren't going to go our way. When last week against Riverside, we went down there and they took the ball and drove 56 yards and scored on us. And, our teams in the past would have what we call kind of melted away. We got scored on and let things get out of hand. But this team didn't, and they come right back and scored. And then man, just kept doing our game plan, what we wanted to do, and took the game over.
You had a freshman behind center last week, and He really did. He probably managed the game the way you needed it to be managed. Does that say a lot about your running game?
Yeah.
That he didn't have to be counted on?
Yeah, he grew up a lot. That's great for a freshman to get thrown in 4A football on a Friday night. Manages the team well, runs the ball well. Very tough kid. He's not your average freshman. You know, he's a Hall of Famer's nephew. That's Brandon Gravely's nephew. So you know he's got to be tough because Brandon was tough as nails. So you know, kids. Gage is going to be an outstanding athlete here at Woodrow Wilson in football and basketball. So, you know, big future for him. He's got a lot of heart and practice every day, running scout team, taking those reps at quarterback. You know, just a good kid, jumps out there at wide receiver for us. So, you know, I'm proud of him to come up from the middle school and be able to take those reps at a quarterback position.
I would say he probably earned a lot of respect for the job he did in a situation where, you know, if you fumble, but he didn't make mistakes.
Man, he didn't make mistakes. Recovered well, very smart. You know, mistakes he made, he corrected them and didn't, you know, turn the ball over.
Right. Okay. Hey, Street, better be a good one on Friday night. We'll see you there. Last time I told you when you came over, last time I saw you, it was hot out here, and I see you got the shorts on. You had the hoodie on when it was 90 degrees, and today
we
you
won't
got
change. It's just another day, you know. You just can't let the weather elements teach you anything. Hopefully it's cold in November and December when we're playing.
Yeah, but that would be the thing, right?
That's
there.
right.
All right, Street, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.